question for you is, in the current scenario, do you think we should be preparing ourselves for an hygiene crisis knocking on our doors anytime soon?
Maria, look, we have a lot of crises in the past. Some small crises, some big crises, and we have always been able to go through. The recent one was COVID. We were not prepared at the beginning, but then we found our way to get out of it. So if we talk to the expert, it's not a matter of if a crisis will come and when a crisis will come. So we need to be prepared for the next one.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking forward to see what else you have to say about this topic. Thank you so much. I'll leave you to it.
Thank you, Maria. So welcome everyone to our first appointment today with our V-Talks. We talk about how to prevent an hygiene crisis and what we can do in order to be safe from a cleaning perspective. So let's start talking about what an hygiene crisis is. We can describe this as a situation that is difficult and can become very dangerous from a health perspective and needs to be taken into serious consideration. It has to deal with pathogenic microorganisms that are in the environment and can infect people. And when they infect people, actually they can spread quite quickly. So it has to be contained in a very manner of time. There are a lot of medical treatments, there are a lot of cleaning solutions that can be put in place, but what is important is that it's not spread around quickly. It can happen in any environment, but the most common, of course, is the healthcare environment. Getting into an hospital for doing any treatment, and all of a sudden you are infected with a pathogenic microorganism, and then you need to be treated, and all the hospital or the area has to be treated. That is called hospital-acquired infection, and it's quite common, and it's quite costly as well. So a hospital has to spend lots of money in order to prevent that these crises that can be small at the beginning can become something very serious. Now, we have coronavirus. So we have said a lot of things about coronavirus. So we are not talking about this on an hygiene perspective, but more on the cleaning perspective. So what we have learned from COVID-19, first things is that the hygiene standard risen up in any industry. It was very common to have a high hygiene standard in healthcare, and it's still like this, but we didn't have in the other industry like hospitality, for example. Whereas during COVID, these standards raised up. So I'm from Australia, we have very long lockdowns, and in between we were capable to go out and have spent some times in a coffee or in a cafe. And you could see that there were lots of activities in cleaning these areas. Now, in some areas, the standards has remained very high. In others, has come back to where they were before. The second things we learn is that the cleaners become the heroes. So for being at the, let's say, the very bottom part of the healthcare chain, all of a sudden they become very important. They were heroes together with doctors and nurses because they were fighting the virus in front line with them. So the status, even if I don't really like this word, but really raised up. And now I think in the healthcare environment especially, the cleaners, the job of the cleaners, of the cleaning, professional cleaning, is really considered as really important in order to avoid hygiene like that. Another things we learn is disinfection. So disinfection was the things that we were confident with. We knew that if we were disinfecting, we were have somehow protected, even if it's not completely true. And so we started disinfecting everything, everywhere, all the time. And in some cases, we really created the opposite effect. And I will talk about this later on. And then the industry, the professional cleaning industry, of course, take his responsibility and try to see what could be the solution that could prevent, could help in fighting against the coronavirus. Textile products and chemical products were developed, and they were quite successful in protecting the environment. Now, how this can happen, of course, is not really easy to come up with one solution, but definitely what we can say is that our behavior, the way we live, is having an impact. Think about cross-contamination that during COVID has become a very common word. So microorganisms can be transported from one place to another just with our hands. Cleaning, just the simple act of cleaning our hands with soap was already enough to inactivate the virus and protect us. So this is still critical. It's really important that we avoid cross-contamination as much as we can, because our hands are a vehicle for these microorganisms. Then another element is definitely the fact that the proximity between human life and wildlife has become bigger and bigger. So in the past there was a big separation, and there was a reason because of that, because the humans and wildlife are of course different, and the micro and pathogenic organism that lives on wildlife can be very dangerous for us. And now with this proximity, this is more a danger for us.
Yeah.
Another element is the misuse or the overuse of chemicals, on disinfectant in particular, and for medical treatment, antibiotics, for example. When you use too much, you can generate the opposite effect. Think about the microorganisms that only things they are really capable to do is to grow and multiply. And when they do this when they are heavily attacked. So if you disinfect when it's not needed, what you are doing is basically helping them so you will kill or inactivate the ones that are weaker, but the stronger will survive and will evolve into something that is stronger and more easy to adapt to the new environment, and much harder to defeat because they will be more resistant to the chemical that you are using. So the misuse is always not a really good practice to do. And the last thing is traveling. Of course, traveling is part of our life. So if we see in this expo, we have people from all around the world. I'm from Australia. We'll be back next week. And so whatever, unfortunately, I will get here, I will bring back to my country. And this is something that is really clear in our mind if we think about COVID-19. Now, what we can do, if we look at from a cleaning perspective, what we can do to protect our environment is definitely always perform professional cleaning. Professional cleaning is based on processes and procedures that are, let me say, designed to make sure that the tasks are efficient done by the cleaner. And if you follow the process and the procedure, you can be sure that the environment is safe for us. Then the cleaners has to be professional, has to be trained, has to be capable to do their job. They know exactly what they have to do. And they need to be equipped with professional products. So they don't have to use products that are designed for cleaning our home, our houses, because they are not designed for professional market. We need to use professional tools. And this is the point that I was touching before, is disinfection and cleaning. Very clear in our mind the difference between cleaning and disinfection. Cleaning is what helps to remove bacteria and viruses and microorganisms on the surface. And every time that we can perform cleaning, is good to perform cleaning. It can be dry cleaning, damp cleaning, wet cleaning, it doesn't matter. But that is what can keep the environment clean. Disinfection when is needed, because otherwise, as I said before, we can generate the opposite effect. Now, how do we can perform the cleaning? One way is to clean with water. There are a lot of studies that has proven that cleaning with water is really, really effective. Using microfiber with water is capable to remove from 90 to 99% of microorganisms, viruses, and bacteria in the environment. So there are already lots of countries that has already started the practice and is being validated by their infection and prevention control team, because it's been proven that this is effective as much as cleaning with chemicals. I have a video here that shows what microfiber is and what is the technology that we have developed Freudenberg has developed and is working on is evolving. So you will find in this video that microfiber is not just for cleaning. Microfiber has a lot of application, and we don't realize that many of the products that we are using are actually using microfiber in our cars, in our clothing, in the things that we use to protect our things. So here you see a human hair and the microfiber, the difference. So microfiber is a thinner fiber, is split into a thinner fiber that is 100 or 200 times thinner than a human hair. And this thinness, what helps is to get into the cavity of the surface. Even surfaces that we think that are flat, like a table, in reality they are not if you look at it with a microscope. And what the microfiber does, get into this cavity, take the dirt, trap the dirt into the water, and then the water is sucked into the micro spaces inside the cloth and is retained inside the cloth. That is why microfiber is so effective. And it's a scratch-free product. As you can see, it can be easily used to clean the car and detail the car. So you see here for the screen. Sound absorption, so definitely in the car, on the top of our car, and in all the chassis of our car is fit with microfiber to not allow too much sound coming into the car. It's a lightweight product, so very easy to carry, very easy to use if you have to perform cleaning, and is breathing, so it's used also for bedding material. So here you can see what the microfiber is. Here you see the two fibers before they are split. And you have seen two pictures because we have developed a technology that can split the microfiber in 16 parts or in 32 parts. A layer is created, and then this layer gets into this machine, and with the water, high pressure water, is split into the fiber that generates the microfiber. That then is used to build up cloths, mops, or any other material that we use for cleaning in this case. Now we are capable to manufacture microfiber using recycled material. So all the cloths and mops have a content, or they can go up to 100% of recycled material. 2 plastic bottles of water can consume post-water can be used to manufacture a cloth. So this was the end of this session. I hope you enjoyed this talk, and I invite you to come in an hour time where we will have the next talks about ergonomics. Thank you very much, and see you again.